Hey everybody, it's Dr. Christy here at Health by Design, and it is that time of year again. You got it right. It's time for us to cleanse. So tonight I just wanted to go over the 21-day purification program. For us, it's tried and true. It's something that I do at least twice a year, if not more often. And we're launching our group session. So this is the general information meeting to get you everything you need to know about the 21 days, what the program entails, why you might want to detox, and even if you're a good candidate for it. And then we'll answer questions about how to join the group, or if you want to do it totally solo, you can do that as well. So we're going to kind of launch into it here. Okay, so let food be your medicine first, and the kitchen be your first pharmacy. So it's all about whole food cleansing. Everything that we teach you guys in the office totally pertains to this cleanse. If you've done anything for weight loss or detox on your own in the past, you probably know that there's a lot of different cleanses and a lot of them conflict as far as information and what's healthy and not healthy. So we're going to kind of dispel some of those myths and answer any questions that you might have along the way tonight. So I just thought this was very timely. Why the mask? I'm organic. I've been eating all organic foods, making me organic, and you full of pesticides, artificial fertilizers, and sewage sludge. You are a severe threat to my health. So just trying to get you guys to think a little bit about what we've been taught is safe and not safe. And the EWG is a great resource for you when you're trying to learn about potential carcinogens or pesticides, chemicals, preservatives that are in the food that may or may not be healthy for us. So a little humor to get us rolling. So you say, I don't need a detox, or how do you know if you need a detox? Well, just kind of look at some of these images and think about it. Our air, our water, our soil, things that we spray on the food that we're being told is things we're being told is safe. Unfortunately, our world is full of chemicals, and you don't realize the impact of that, but toxins are everywhere. 80,000% of chemicals have been registered for use in the United States. So they're told that they're allowed to be there, if you think about that. And 800 million pounds of herbicides are used every year, with 167 industrial chemicals found in adults with no employment-related exposure. It's really interesting as you start to research this. They study people just like you and me who eat organic, try to avoid chemicals in our household, use as natural body products and personal hygiene products as possible, and they'll still find hundreds of toxins in our blood and in the umbilical blood of unborn babies. So at this point, whether you're ingesting chemicals or exposed because of industry, maybe on the job, hazardous conditions, whether it's purposeful, known, or unknown, unfortunately, these things are in our world and our body has to keep up with them. So just some more charts. You can kind of see when we put all these pie graphs and spreadsheets and numbers up there. I'm not going to go over every single number, and you don't certainly have to memorize this. I just want to show you that there's data that we know when they study the air, the water. We can definitely see the amount of chemicals and pollution in the air. So 50% is electrical generation, 15% is chemicals, paper products, food and beverage, primary metals. So people don't typically think of heavy metals being brought to you through the air, but that's certainly a valid source of heavy metal toxicity. So we have all these fancy charts in the office and spreadsheets, and we talk about the most common sources of chemicals, the most common sources of heavy metals. And sometimes it makes sense depending on what you do for a living, or recent exposures, or if you've had some kind of diagnostic imaging or dental work or something obvious. But most of the time when we read the charts, it doesn't make sense as far as known. And then we just chalk it up to like air and water. And you can kind of see as things on the land are polluted, it goes back up into the air, and then the rain puts it back down into the earth, and then it gets absorbed into the water table, and then that gets reabsorbed back up into the plants and farming material. So it really is a cycle. So you wonder how it gets into the water supply. It's anything from manufacturing, agricultural pesticide runoff, gasoline leaks, even animal waste, drugs that are flushed or inappropriately disposed of, and sewage and waste runoff, just to name a few. So here's some more numbers just about the water. We talked about air. With water, almost 45% of streams and lakes are polluted. 40% of America's rivers are too polluted for fishing, swimming, or aquatic life. We've seen that here in Florida, where because of different red tides or die-off because of farming materials being flushed out into the water table, that there's die-off. And not only can you not fish or swim in those areas, but you can't consume anything if you caught it there either. So we use 2.2 billion pounds of pesticides every single year, and that's what goes into our lakes and rivers. And there's just a whole bunch of like scary numbers here, but I think we're driving the point home that if this stuff is in our world, our body's going to have to deal with it. And then we talk about our food. So we've got air contaminant, water contaminant, and then the food. And the food probably is the most obvious when we start to think about it, but probably also the most overlooked, because talk about like what you get used to. So the U.S. allows over 14,000 chemical additives to be allowed in our food supply, and that's labeled as safe for you. So I think one of the misconceptions is that surely if they're selling this stuff, it must be safe if they allow us to purchase it, and that is not necessarily true. The average American consumes more than 15 pounds of food additives a year, 60 pounds of sugar a year, and 60 pounds of high fructose corn syrup a year. So that's the average American. And when we dive into the sugar topic, when we dive into the sugar, I can't say that. When we dive into the sugar topic in a few more slides, you're going to see that those numbers are actually a lot more than 60 pounds a year. They're upwards of 120 pounds plus a year of the average consumption of sugar for the average American. That's humongous. There's another statistic that I found somewhere, and it's not in these slides, but the average American consumes more sugar in a day than our ancestors used to consume in a year. So there's an average statistic that's not in these slides that says the average American today consumes more sugar in a day than our ancestors consumed in an entire year. So if that isn't telling. So here's another graphic that just shows where does MSG and high fructose corn syrup and all these sugars come from. And it's your typical standard American diet. It's our foods that are convenience, the drive-thrus, it's the condiments, the hidden sugar bombs, like what we put in our coffee, what we put on top of the foods we eat, what we're frying or cooking the foods in. So you kind of have to think of the entire spectrum of ingredients when we're talking about quality of food and potential toxins. So food can either be your medicine or it can be your poison. The problem with refined food is that it's just calories devoid of nutrition. So this is a quote by Dr. Royal Lee. He was the founder of Standard Process, and he was so far ahead of his time as far as understanding diet and nutrition, and he predicted that we would be exactly where we are, and he actually thought that we would be here in another couple of decades. So we've even beat his predictions as far as where our morbidity would be as related to the mass production of the foods that we eat. So when we talk about calories, we're not huge on calorie counting, and you definitely don't have to calorie count on the cleanse. But when we're talking about quality of foods rather than the number of calories, which is really important. So you could eat the same number of calories in broccoli, which has all sorts of phytonutrients and disease-fighting antioxidants, and you could eat the same amount of void calories in a Reese's peanut butter cup and get exactly no nutritional value. So that's just a little graphic to show you that the amount of calories alone doesn't matter. It's really the quality of the food and how much packed nutrition is in it versus empty calories. So this is a little thing about the sugar roller coaster. It's hard to get off the roller coaster because it's one of those things, the more you eat, the more you want, and it just keeps going. So what happens is we know that sugar increases a euphoric mood and it releases endorphins and all these other serotonin and feel-good chemicals. It raises your insulin and then you feel better. You might have more mental clarity, better energy, but then it doesn't stick with you very long. So your metabolism very quickly roller coasters downhill and you feel the fatigue, maybe some brain fog, and then you crave more sugar and you're going for a quick fix. So you kind of repeat the habits and find things that, again, are maybe those empty calories to give you a quick fix to bring you back up to that feel-good state. But if you continue on this roller coaster over time, the long-term effect of doing that will actually cause you to gain weight. It will cause the hormones to get out of imbalance, and it actually can increase your insulin resistance and ruin your metabolism over time. So roller coaster dieting, probably a lot of people have already tried that. This is not that type of a program because we realize the long-term health consequences. And you actually would gain more weight over time by keeping on this blood sugar roller coaster. Soft drinks is another thing. A lot of times people use those as their quick fix, needing a high in the middle of the day. A lot of times people have that like 2 to 3 o'clock in the afternoon slump, and so soft drinks aren't the best choice. They actually are full of phosphoric acid, which leaches calcium from your bones. So we know osteoporosis is an epidemic right now, and the use of soft drinks, the daily use of soft drinks can contribute to that. And here, if that, most people aren't really afraid of losing their bone mass for some reason, but since most people are looking at a cleanse for potential weight loss consequences, this might get your attention a little better than losing your bone mass. Drinking 1 can of soda every day for 1 year would be the equivalent of 16 pounds of sugar consumed. That's huge. If you think about something that weighs 16 pounds, think about like your weights or something that you lift on a regular basis, or like maybe a medium-sized bag of dog food that weighs 16 pounds. That's like eating a whole bag of dog food in sugar an entire year. That's a lot. If that's not enough, if the weight gain and the consequences aren't enough for you to let go of sugar yet, it also suppresses your immune system. So right now, everybody's understanding how important your immune system is to fight hidden viruses and immune triggers in our environment. And so every time you consume sugar, it actually diminishes your immune system for over 24 hours. And that's just 1 can of soda. So think about people who consume more than 1 can of soda, or in addition to soda, get other sources of sugar in a day. And then most people are walking around with their immune system diminished like all the time. And then we talk about trans fats. That's another source of toxins. A lot of these trans fats are neurotoxic. They can actually ruin your metabolism. They're very highly inflammatory to the body, including to the brain. And 40% of the foods that are on the US supermarket contain trans fats. And there's a whole reading labels class that we do. and you can go onto our YouTube channel and watch that. It's probably a good idea to continue to learn more and more about the quality of the foods and how to become a smart consumer, especially when you're doing a cleanse. It's a real good time to kind of do a deep dive and really understand this stuff so that once the 21 days are over, you don't repeat old habits, and gain some new knowledge and information, which will empower you to be well, overall more healthy. But 40% of the foods contain trans fats, and they don't have to include that on the label. So that's the scary thing with labeling laws, is like a lot of these companies don't even have to disclose to you the ingredients that are in there. And here's a whole list of trans fats. But pretty much if something has a label, you have to read it. And you have to not only read the nutrition label, but also the ingredients to understand the full picture of what's in those foods. So what is the highest cost to the American healthcare system? Can anybody guess what that might be? It is the obesity epidemic. So if you eat just 100 calories more than you need per day for 1 year, that would be the equivalent of 10 pounds of weight gain. So calories in, calories out, right? And this is just another graphic that kind of shows quality foods versus non-quality foods. So you can eat an entire apple for just like a bite of a candy bar to get the same amount of calories, where obviously this is going to hold your appetite longer. You're not going to be as hungry. You're actually going to get some good immune boosting phytochemicals. Same thing with celery versus pretzels. You're going to get some hydration. Drinking celery juice has been shown to decrease inflammation in the joints and help with GI issues. There's all sorts of research on celery juice. There's like zero research on eating pretzels. So just kind of think about that. So with the obesity epidemic, 75% of adults are now considered overweight, and another 36% of those are obese. And this extends into children. So what's sad is that now diseases that only ever used to affect adults are also affecting our children. So 45% of the kids are overweight, with the 20% of those being in the obese category. And sadly enough, this generation of children is the first generation that's predicted not to outlive their parents. So you guys, this is serious information, and something has to change clearly. We can't continue on this same path and expect different results. And you can see kids, like pictures like this every day, kids just kind of eating. Food is love, right? I'm Italian, so I get it. Food was just put in front of our faces, but we didn't understand the consequences until another whole generation grew up. And now we can understand the health consequences of what we put in our mouth as children. So the good news is, with that knowledge and information, we don't have to continue on from generation to generation. We can stop it right here and right now. So let's take this home to Florida here. The #1 public health threat to Florida's future is unhealthy weight. So a minute ago, I just gave you the nation's statistics, but 36% of Floridians are at an unhealthy weight. On our current trend, by 2030, it's predicted that almost 60% will be obese. And again, with the children, 6 out of 10 children born today will be obese by the time they graduate high school. So we need to learn about this obesity epidemic and teach our kids to think differently and have healthy habits, and for them to be smart consumers. Over the next 20 years in Florida, obesity is expected to contribute to millions of cases of preventable chronic diseases. So what is the most important word in all of that whole statistic? Is preventable. So if it's preventable, that's empowering. It means that we can prevent it. It means that it doesn't have to happen. That doesn't have to be the case. We can actually stop it. The cost of that is $34 billion. So at a time right now where a lot of people's financial future is unknown, a lot of times right now where, you know, the United States our debt ratios are at an all-time high. And this is preventable. So we can definitely save ourselves personally money and save the nation a whole lot of debt by preventing these types of diseases that cost our country and our society so much money to support. So it's definitely considered a public health issue. The Department of Health has launched the Healthiest Weight Florida initiative in January of 2013, recognizing obesity in the state of Florida as a public health issue. So this map, I'm going to quickly flip through it to animate it. What you're going to notice is that when we start out, the map is mostly white and blues. And so this is a map of obesity trends, and it starts in 1985. So in 1985, there was only 3 categories, and the highest percentage of people that were overweight or obese was 10 to 14%, represented by the darker blue, and that was only in 8 states. And as we continue to go through from 1986 to 87 and so on, you see a growing number of states in that darker blue category. So more of the United States became obese. And as we continue on, you'll see that new categories had to be added on. So as of 1991, now all of a sudden 4 states had a percentage of obesity between 15 to 19%. And as we continue to go on into the 90s, all of a sudden, none of the white or light blues are even on the map. They're all the medium to dark blue. And as we get into 1997, another whole category where 3 states of over 20% of the population was considered obese. And as we keep going, that peach color continues to grow across the screen, and now there's absolutely no white or light blue in only a few states that was the medium category. And as we keep going, it just gets worse. Now we've got a new category. Here's a pop quiz if anybody can name that state. We'll give them a free bottle of shake. Over 25% obese. And now all of the medium to light blues are gone, and the map is starting to be taken over by the orange colors. And now there's a red color of over 30%, and it just keeps getting worse, where eventually all the blue is gone and the map is totally taken over, where the majority of the states as of 2010, I'm going to go back. The majority of the states as of 2010 are between 25 to 30% obese. So do you guys think we're on a trajectory to solve this? We're clearly not. So how do toxins enter the body? We can inhale them through the lungs, through things that are in the air, exhaust, toxic fumes, secondhand smoke, things of that nature. We can digest them, things that we consume in the foods and beverages that we take in. We can penetrate them through the skin. We can absorb them through the skin, rather. So body care products, things that we spread on the skin, perfumes, lotions, hairsprays, moisturizers, anti-aging creams, things of those nature. So what is the effect? What does the effect of all this toxicity and poor diet have on Americans? Well, here's a list. This is a real general list of symptoms. So how do you know if you need a cleanse, if you need a detox? So weight gain, just general fatigue, headaches, allergies, joint or muscle pain, hormonal dysfunction, anxiety and stress. So even emotional related conditions could be a sign of toxins, edema, skin rashes, sleep issues. So if I just give you that list, does anybody not have any of those, is what I want to say. So the whole point of this is that it doesn't have to be something wild and crazy and scary to show you that you have toxicity in your body. Most of the everyday ailments, some of the most common things that people seek medical or over-the-counter care for are on this list. And so toxins can be related to just about anything because they have an inflammatory effect, and inflammation can cause just about any disease on the planet. So when toxins come into the body, how does the body deal with them? So you do have systems in your body that naturally detoxify. Your body has a few choices. It can either bury them in the fat. So your fat cells actually work as insulators. They're there to protect you from toxins. So that's why a lot of people have trouble losing fat, because if they haven't addressed the toxic level in the fat tissue, your body isn't going to lose that fat because the fat's protecting you from the toxins that are buried inside of them. So that's the first route. The body can bury them in the fat tissue. It can deposit them in the tissues. So it could be in your liver, your brain, your lung, wherever your body is the weakest. The toxins have a predisposition to go and sit there, cause inflammation and irritation. So that's why the list of symptoms is so variable, because it just depends on what tissue toxins decide to sit in. Or the body can remove them, which would be the best case scenario. The problem is if you're taking in toxins faster than your natural systems can remove them, they're going to eventually accumulate, just like a filter in your pool or your air conditioning unit or the oil filter in your car. So in all of those mechanical devices, we can take the filters out and clean them or remove them and replace them. We don't have that option with our body. We only have one liver and two lungs and two kidneys and one skin covering. So we have to take care of the systems that we have that help us detoxify. So the detox can actually help you cleanse, similar to removing the filters or cleaning out the filters in the mechanics in your home or your car. And these are some of the organs that are involved every single day in toxin removal. The lymphatics, that's something that in alternative medicine and in nutrition, we focus on lymphatic clearing or drainage every day. Traditional medicine doesn't really address the lymphatic system. Your blood, your circulatory system helps move toxins out. Your skin, so your skin is actually your largest detoxification organ. So if we're not taking care of our skin and we're slathering things that are petroleum based that actually clog our pores, and we're using antiperspirants under our arms so that we won't sweat, that actually negatively impacts our ability for skin to remove toxins. And then we have kidney, liver, lungs, and your digestive system. We haven't really talked about the digestive system very much, but that is a major organ of detoxification. And so on those list of symptoms should also have been GI disturbance. So that's in the top 10 list of things that people come to our office with. That's a big trigger for somebody seeking alternative and nutrition care. And so if your digestive system isn't working to remove toxins, things are definitely accumulating in the system. So liver, I think on that list of organs, most people only think of the liver as the detox organ, and it is one of the main detox organs, but as you can see, it's not the only one. But just daily life overloads the liver, and that is a reason for needing a detox. So alcohol intake, the coffee and energy drinks, poor nutrition, food intolerances, if we're eating foods that our bodies are sensitive to, mineral deficiency in the soil, environmental toxins in processed food, psychological or emotional stress, infection and illness, over-the-counter prescription, medications, smoking, again, more stress, excessive workload, anger, a lot of emotional triggers all negatively impact the liver. So when you think of an organ, when it can be this stressed out, obviously it has a high level of importance as far as function in the body. And so people think of the liver as a detoxification organ, which it is, but your liver also is an organ where your body manufactures hormones. So hormone imbalance is also in the top 10 list of things people come to see us for. Your body also manufactures cholesterol in the liver. So cholesterol is definitely a rampant health issue in America. And it does over 500 additional functions. It's really where your body uses glucose as a fuel source to produce energy for all your biochemical systems. It's where your body can help burn fat or ketones in place of glucose. So it's very critical for everyday function in the liver. So we have to take care of it. So 21 days, like, can we really impact all these different toxins that we talked about and make changes that are long-term and actually feel better in 21 days? And the answer, of course, is yes. So the 21-day purification, the reason why I kind of landed on this as the main detox program that I continue to use and promote to our patients in the office is because of the proven track record and also the masterful design of it. And so 21 days is the minimum amount of time that it takes for you to make permanent changes or to change your habits. So that's why it's 21 days. And also, it's whole food based. It's completely natural. There's no stimulants or chemicals or anything habit forming in them. And also, it helps you change your relationship with food. So it's not meant to be a quick fix. You know, there's lots of other types of detoxes and, 9-day cleanses and 10-day cleanses and that. And so people will get a quick temporary result with some of those programs. But the truth of the matter is if you haven't changed your relationship with food, once the 9 or 10 or 14 days is over, most likely human nature in our busy life is that you're just going to default back to what you've always done and what you've always known if you haven't gotten those habit changing lifestyle factors in place. So in 21 days, people have these are the improvements people have reported: improved circulation and sleep patterns, better hormone function overall, better overall health, just a general feeling of lightness, people have said, or just feeling more present in their body. Definitely better energy. Most people that's the first thing that they start to feel, usually midway through the cleanse, and that helps propel them through the second half of the cleanse because they're motivated because they start feeling better day by day. Overall appearance and youthful feel. So a lot of times people who are on the cleanse, other people are telling them, wow, you look great, what are you doing? Because they see just a general glow to their skin, brightness in their eyes. They notice that, maybe their tone is up and they're happier and just doing well in general. So it's definitely noticeable from other people. Weight loss, people say they can fit into those skinny clothes again, and that's whether or not the scale changes. And so what's cool is that a lot of this is actually getting rid of inflammation and excess bloat and helping your body burn fat and gain muscle mass. So we recommend that you use factors like blood work and get a full body composition before and after the cleanse, so you don't just go by one measurement tool. So for me, for example, I might only lose a few pounds because I don't have a lot of excess weight to shed, but I always exercise while I do it. And so I know when I start really putting on muscle and burning fat, that I might actually weigh a little bit more, but I can still fit better in my clothes and feel better and look more toned because I've lost fat and bloat and inflammation and put on muscle mass, and muscle weighs more. So it can't be fooled just by the scale alone. Improved digestion and elimination, that's pretty obvious when people are on the cleanse. In fact, we make sure we monitor regular bowel movements with our patients and anybody who does the cleanse. That's important. As you're detoxing, we want to make sure that your body is releasing those toxins. And so you really don't need to be having bowel movements during the cleanse. Reduced allergies. So that's a big reason why people do it seasonally, and especially here in Florida. Headaches, joint and muscle pain. And then the weight loss during the detox, what people can expect. We always talk about this, that the weight loss is a wonderful and natural side effect. So it's not a weight loss program, although weight loss is very common. And the weight loss comes from getting the body in balance and giving the body the proper nutritional balance, getting rid of the chemicals and inflammatory things in the food that we talked about. So the typical weight loss during the 21-day program is anywhere from 8 to 20 pounds. Yes, men lose more and lose weight faster than women, which I know can be frustrating for women, but we're just a little more complicated, we'd like to say. And toxins can contribute to the food and weight cravings, the difficulty sleeping, skin issues, libido, reduced mental clarity, joint discomfort. So these are all things that you can expect to improve during the course of the cleanse. This is just a fancy graph to show you that there actually are 3 phases of detoxification in the liver. And when I was saying that I have, during 17 years of practice, I've researched just about every cleanse and detox program that's out there. And the reason why I continue to stick with the standard process one is because of the understanding of the biochemistry of the body. And that's why this program is so successful and so safe for so many different people, because they really have put together a program that will address all 3 phases of detox. So if you're somebody who ever has like ordered a cleanse online and just felt worse, or really had like a detox reaction or felt really sick and weren't able to continue for any reason, it's probably because the cleanse didn't address all 3 phases of detox or elimination. And so what happens is if it only liberates phase 1 detox unlocks these fat-soluble toxins, and it actually creates a more highly toxic substance that you need to enable phase 2 detox to conjugate or bind those toxins to get ready for phase 3, which is elimination. So if you've only gotten to phase 1 and then all of a sudden the body's just flooded with all these toxins and hasn't had the proper nutritional balance and support to eliminate them, you're going to feel horrible. You're going to feel more brain fog. You're going to feel digestive complaints. You're going to be inflamed and probably in a lot of pain. And so you really don't want to do that. We've even heard of people having to go to the hospital because they've had such a herx or detox type of reaction. So this isn't anything to do. If you have chronic health conditions, if you're on medications, you really do want to be doing this under the supervision of a practitioner. You really don't want to be doing some of these detox programs. They can actually be dangerous for you. So just be cautious of what you're doing over the counter and ordering online. So we're going to go a little bit over the products on the Purification Program, the few things that are on the shelf here behind me. It's the SP Cleanse, which is a product that will help with the detox and supporting multiple organs of detoxification. You either have SP Complete or Veggie Complete. There's different shakes. There's whey protein shakes, there's rice protein, or this Veggie Complete shake that is their vegan version. That's pumpkin seed, sesame seed, and just all natural pea protein. You want to put fiber in, so we talked about the importance of bowel movements and also binding the toxins that are liberated. So fiber will help you do that. You have the choice of either using a capsule or a powder, and the powder you can just put right in the protein shakes that you're going to be taking anyway. We usually have everybody use the whole food fiber. It's so easy to use, and people usually do so well without any kind of like gassiness that we just stick with whole food fiber. But if you want to take it in a capsule form, you can. And then SP Green Food is another capsule that you take. So those are the 4 products that come in the purification kits. The SP Cleanse, it's 20 unique whole food ingredients and botanicals to support kidney, liver, and gallbladder function, all organs of detoxification. It also helps encourage healthy digestion and the normal elimination of toxins and elimination. So here's some of the ingredients in SP Cleanse. So this is something that definitely helps the 21-day purification program stand out compared to some of the stuff over the counter, is that these are all ingredients that you can read. There's no chemicals or additives. It's just all whole food products. Juniper berry, red clover, burdock, apple pectin is a natural form of fiber. Barley grass, Spanish black radish is an awesome bowel detoxifier and general lymphatic drainage product. Grape, fenugreek, beautiful. The different shakes I went over a little bit. You can have whey protein, a vegan protein, or an unflavored brown rice protein. And if you're not sure which one to get, we can help customize the kits for you. So just ask us. If you know you have a dairy sensitivity and you're afraid of the whey, I recommend the Veggie Complete. Either those are both available in chocolate or vanilla. And then if you just want a dairy-free, unflavored, this SP Complete dairy-free is a brown rice protein. And it's a full spectrum amino acid. It has all the essential fats and nutrients in it. So it really is considered a meal replacement. So that's kind of the program. We'll go over the program a little bit, but you're basically going to do 2 meal replacement shakes a day and 1 healthy meal. And we'll go over what you can and can't eat on the cleanse. And then the SP Complete, it's barley grass, alfalfa, rice, buckwheat, flax, all sorts of beautiful things to help your body be able to liberate those toxins and help in phase 1, 2, and 3 of liver detoxification. Whole food fiber comes from apple pectin, and it promotes a healthy gut and regular bowel movement. It also is critical in helping with healthy blood sugar and blood fat levels. So I'm going to share some cool testimonials with you in a moment. You're going to see some actual blood work pre and post. And so there's a great research article written up on the 21-day purification and how it's as effective as some of the over-counter medications in lowering cholesterol and blood lipids, which is awesome. Just some ingredients in the gastrofiber versus the whole food fiber, all pronounceable, recognizable ingredients. The whole food fiber is oats and beets and carrots, apple, all sorts of beautiful things. The gastrofiber has psyllium in it, and psyllium can cause a little bit of bloating. So again, my preferred one is the whole food fiber on the program, but certain people like the gastrofiber as well. Just a matter of preference. And then the SP green food. So you'll do the SP cleanse for the first 10 days, and then you switch over to the SP green food for the last half of the cleanse, and that helps bind things and just support the last phase of liver detox and help the body just really move everything out and eliminate. And that's made up of things like Brussels sprouts and kale, buckwheat. So the cool thing is, if you're not willing to eat a ton of these green vegetables, but you realize the health benefits of them, you can take it in a convenient capsule. And this SP green food is something that we use for people who need extra cruciferous vegetables in their diet for different reasons, for hormone balance and lipid profile balance and that kind of thing. So this is a product that definitely is used on the cleanse, but we can use it in part of our design clinical programs as well. And then it also has barley grass and alfalfa. So not things that you typically eat on a daily basis. So that's why we're trying to flood the body with nutrients that you wouldn't normally get. So here's a breakdown of the cleanse. Days 1 through 10, you're basically going to eat an unlimited amount of raw organic fruits and vegetables, focusing on green leafy vegetables. The general rule of thumb, especially for people who want to lose weight, is to eat twice as many vegetables as fruit. If you're just eating so much fruit, that can be a hidden sugar bomb and can limit your ability to release toxins and to release fat. For people that are looking for a little more bulk and can't just live totally on a raw vegetarian diet, we get it. So things like lentils and quinoa and eating raw seeds will help you get more bulk and feel more full. And so those are allowed. We want you to hydrate and drink lots of water to help flush all those toxins out of the body. You're allowed to have high quality oils. We want you to have healthy fats. You need to eat fat to burn fat. That's another whole different class that we offer that you can grab on our YouTube channel. Probably a good thing to educate yourself while you're going through this thing, especially if you know you're not going to hit your total target weight loss goals in the 21 days. If you still have weight loss goals after the 21 days, you're going to want to hear about eating fats and the importance for losing weight. And we can get you that link if you need it. And then you want to exercise. So 30 to 45 minutes at least 4 days a week will help improve your weight loss efforts and help you sweat and help you detox and eliminate and just help with that mental clarity and stress reduction. And then on day 11, it's pretty much the same program, except you are allowed to add in animal protein at that point if you choose. And so you can have fish or lean meat. And there's a whole program guide that comes with this. You guys don't have to memorize this. You're going to get all this in a beautiful booklet, and it's also downloadable on the website, on Standard Process website. And so in the link that we share with you, all this information is right there. And as far as your supplements, on days 1 through 7, you're going to take the SP Complete. You're going to have 2 to 3 shakes a day as a meal replacement. And you're going to take the SP Cleanse product, 7 capsules 3 times a day. And then you're going to take your GastroFiber, 3 capsules a day, or just 1 tablespoon of the whole food fiber. You're going to put a tablespoon in each of the shakes that you take. So that's it on days 1 through 7. It's the cleanse, it's the SP Cleanse product, your fiber, and your shake. And then you'll actually run out of the SP Cleanse pills if you're taking them properly. And so on days 8 through 21, you're going to still take the shake and the fiber, but instead of the SP Cleanse, you're going to take the SP Green Food. And you're going to take 2 capsules of that twice a day. Water, it's important to drink tons of healthy filtered water. If you can get it in a glass bottle instead of a plastic bottle to avoid some of the plastics and the BPA leached into the water, that's great. You want to drink about 8 to 10 glasses of water to stay hydrated and help with the toxic burden. Get moving. We want to do 30 to 40 minutes of exercise at least 4 times a week, or 10,000 steps or more a day. And here's just a little graphic. If you walk a mile or run a mile, you burn approximately 100 calories. So you can kind of figure out how many calories you want to eat and how many you burn, and that's what's left over. So calories in, calories out. This is an awesome cookbook, The 1 Degree of Change. It's also downloadable for free on the Standard Process website. It goes through just making small incremental changes throughout the 21 days. You can follow it you can actually read it each day of the week. It'll focus on a different ingredient. Like I think day 1 is beets. And it talks about the importance and nutritional value of beets. It talks about how you could add the beets to a shake, or how you could eat them in a salad, or how you could make an entree with beets in it. So it gives you a couple of different preparations. And it goes through all sorts of great superfoods throughout the 21 days. And then it also has a section in the back that's arranged just like a cookbook. So it talks about how to make your own salad dressings. All of the recipes that are in there are cleanse approved. There might be some that are for post cleanse, because it also talks about how to reintroduce foods after the 21 days. So the 21 days is super critical. It's the majority of the program, but what you do after the cleanse really is equally important and equally a gift in order to keep in the long-term habit changes and really learn how your body did and what foods you're sensitive to. So don't skip that portion of the detox. In the program guide, it's going to give you a list of what to avoid. If you want more information on this, we have reading labels and a virtual grocery store tour that you can take with us. Pretty much this is the list. So you want to avoid trans fats and hydrogenated oils, which you really should be. If you're not eating in restaurants and you're not eating packaged and processed foods, that's a good way to avoid some of those hydrogenated oils and trans fats. There's no caffeine or alcohol on the cleanse, so that's something that you're going to want to listen to. There's all sorts of instructions in the program guideline about how to get ready for the cleanse and how to slowly start to taper off the caffeine to eliminate some of those caffeine type headaches. So you don't have to do it all or nothing, and you don't want to do it overnight to avoid headaches. So you want to slowly taper prior to starting the 21 days. You want to avoid coffee, tobacco, and other stimulants, no soft drinks. There are no nuts, beans, dairy, or grains on the cleanse. So pretty much any of the foods that are the top inflammatory foods have been stripped out. No processed or refined foods, so you're going to be on all clean eating. No dried or canned fruits or vegetables because of the preservatives and toxins they can have in them. And then no cured, smoked, or luncheon meats for the same reasons. It's kind of like the sad news, right? But here are some other people's success stories to keep you motivated. So these are real patients who went through the cleanse. It has the dates that they started and ended, or when they at least got their blood work pre and post. So this person had their cholesterol before the cleanse at 263 and it dropped down to 178. So you guys, that's a significant enough improvement to get the medical doctors off your back. This person definitely would have been a candidate for prescription medication, and this person, the doctors would leave them alone. So that's important. That's a significant health improvement and a decrease in health risk as a result of going through the 21 days. Triglycerides also went from 181 down to 107, and LDL, which is the bad cholesterol, went down from 174 to 107. That's an incredible result after 21 days. And you can just see, you know, case after case. Look at this person, a female, her cholesterol was 344, triglycerides were 787. Like, definitely would have been a candidate for prescription medication. And after the 21 days, she got her cholesterol down to 182 and her triglycerides down to 108. That went from a heart risk of 7.2 down to 3.7. So I don't know if you guys are, if you guys have read your own blood work, but it's important to look at the ratios. And that's something in alternative medicine that we scrutinize the blood work a little more than just looking at the total cholesterol level alone. You want to see the ratio. One of the ratios that we like is cholesterol, total cholesterol over the HDL or good cholesterol number. And that should be, for a female, 2.5 to 3.7 at the highest. And she was double the heart risk, like the highest above average risk for heart health overall, and she went down to a 3.7, which is in the below average. So that's life-changing, you guys. That's the difference between having a heart attack or some kind of cardiovascular incident to being of minimal risk. Incredible. And then pictures always speak 1,000 words. So here's some befores and afters, and we put male and female because men definitely lose more weight faster, we know that, but women can do it too. Doesn't this woman just look generally better and more fit overall? I know her face isn't in the picture, but she looks like a totally different person. More muscle mass. She looks like an athlete. So if you're ready to welcome the new you and start on a journey with us, you can go to this link. So healthbydesignfl.com is our website, and then /21-day-purification-cleanse. And it's all lowercase. And you can just fill in your name and phone number and email information to get some more information sent to you, and in order to join our group cleanse. So you can do this alone with all the information and materials that are downloadable, but in my experience, it's fun to join a group and do this together for accountability. And so we put together a whole entire group and where you can have a community and a messaging board system to share your successes and what's working and not working, to ask questions during the 21 days, to share recipes. People even share like what's on sale and what they're finding at different grocery stores. So I definitely encourage you to join. It's even fun for me. I've been doing this for 17 years, and I learned from you guys during the group cleanses, and I really enjoy just being in contact with everyone and doing this together. I love knowing that we're doing it. We're not alone in this. So a little bit more information about the 21 days. It's $289. That includes everything, all the ingredients, the kit, the downloadable book, everything that you need. It includes a shaker bottle to mix your cleanses, the downloadable cookbook, if you want to join the group, what our game plan is that you sign up by June 6th before 1 o'clock so that we can order your kits, and then you want to pick them up by June 11th. And we're planning on the group starting on June 12th. And so we've masterfully designed that so that we will end before the 4th of July weekend. That way you guys don't have to worry about company and travel and giving up your social life. So this is a little graphic about what comes with the 21-day purification cleanse. So for $289, you get your SP cleanse product, the SP Complete Shake, either the gastro fiber or whole food fiber, and the SP Green Food. So that's your whole kit of all the products that you need. You're going to get a Purification Program guide book that tells you how to prepare for the cleanse. It tells you how to take your supplements and what to do every single day. There's a food log area in there so you can keep track of when you took your supplements and if you drank enough water, and also how you feel from day to day. There's a shopping guide, so there's all sorts of ingredients of what to buy with also the foods that you want to avoid list. And then there is an area in the back to keep track of your food reintroduction on how you feel when you start reintroducing the foods and how to handle that second part after the 21 days. There's a recyclable bag that everything comes in. You get your cleanse guidebook, the 1 Degree of Change cookbook that you can downloadable. You get weekly Facebook Live group meetings. There's a coupon at the end of the cleanse for nutrition response testing to come in for your free one-on-one health screening with a nutrition response testing practitioner. Obviously, that only pertains for the local people if you can come in, but we still would encourage you and can help you locate a practitioner in your area if you're not in the Jacksonville, Florida area. There actually are nutrition response testing practitioners all over the country, which is pretty cool. You get daily informational and supportive emails. So every day you'll get an email with this is what to expect on this day, and you're probably feeling such and such, some inspirational information as well as recipes. And just how to spruce up the shakes and things like that, that'll be helpful. And then you also get access to the SP app to help you track your progress on your cleanse. So if you're a techie person, we've got that all figured out as well. So whatever form is best for you, just make sure that you get on the link here, the 21-day purification cleanse link. Fill in your information so we can get you your kits in time to start with the group. If you miss day one, it's not a big deal. You don't have to start on exactly the same day. We've had people that started, a couple of weeks off and still were able to participate in the Facebook Live and in the community and the group and everything too. So we can accommodate it, and then people tend to say like, well, what do I do if, on week 2 I'm gonna travel? It's actually a great time for you to figure this out. One of the biggest roadblocks for people is busy lifestyle and traveling for a living and trying to find healthy foods on the go. So if you can get this done while you're traveling or have company or are on the road, you're gonna be all the more equipped to keep your lifestyle changes in when life goes back to normal. So I wish you all well. I look forward to being part of this with you. I always do the cleanse personally every time we do the group. I think it's fun. I learn a lot. I always feel better. I don't have any particular health complaints at the moment myself, but I know I'm going to feel clearer and brighter and lighter, and it's just an awesome jump start. So if you've fallen off the bandwagon, if you haven't gotten started on the program and have been meaning to, or if you just were looking to start a cleanse and didn't know where to start and didn't, you were worried maybe about the quality of ingredients or the safety of it, this might be the perfect time for you to jump in and get started. So I look forward to seeing you all in the Facebook group, and I'll talk to you all soon. Bye.